as it comes out. But we're going to switch gears here to some American news. Mamdani race for NYC mayor and pushing the elites to Florida. Gray, this clip is for you. What do you think about this? Hold on, we're going to play and get your reaction. This is the prediction of what they're saying about all the people that'll be coming to Florida. Where did it go? Here we go.
Sounds like it is. Good afternoon, Sandra. Realtors in this exclusive area say there's a new sense of urgency for wealthy New York buyers. These are families, empty nesters looking to buy a home like this and gain residency. So some New Yorkers are taking a closer look at Florida's no state income tax, especially as a potential tax hike looms. Raising taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers has been one of Mamdani's key campaign promises. Luxury real estate agent Johnny Del Preti says this is a main concern.
High net worth people, you know, they're paying those taxes, so they really want to know what are they getting for what they're paying. There definitely has been more traffic, more flow through here in regards to showings.
And it's not just the realtors seeing the shift. Local officials say they're feeling it too. The mayor of Boca Raton says the Mamdani effect is real, and he's been fielding calls from worried New Yorkers. In June, the city launched a NewYorkToBoca.com, which has seen thousands of views, also igniting a billboard in Times Square.
We're getting people concerned about the potential of 17% tax rate just in city-state alone, potential of higher crime with comments about defunding police. Boca Raton is a stark contrast, the lowest property tax rate of any full-service city in Florida.
And Sandra, this home behind me is listed for $73 million. Although that price tag may seem high, realtors say this is on par for the competitive market down here.
73 million. Gray, so what do you think as a homeowner in Florida? What do you think about all these New Yorkers? Because Mamdani is 99% going to win. So what do you think about them coming here?
It's just like during COVID. They come, real estate skyrockets, but they do price some people out. I know people personally who's upset about the property tax, them not being able to buy housing because all these people before they moved from California and everywhere because they were blaming Gavin Newsom. So they come here and then they think it's sweet, and then some of them don't last, and some of them think that they want that Southern culture, but they really don't. They still want that blue city feel, but they come here and then they don't like it. So we'll see what happens. But us Floridians have to deal with them moving here with cost of living and cost of housing.
Yeah. Well, again, he's going to win. Good luck to them. This is AOC in her speech. I'll get Kimberly to respond to this.
City was built by the Irish escaping famine, Italians fleeing fascism, Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves.
Get the Italians out your mouth.
Kim, do you think she's genuine? What do you think of that speech? Kind of reminds me of when she was hollering last year and what's his name, the hip hop congressman lost. Do you think she'll bring some luck this time to Mamdani?
I think AOC is a clown. To her credit, Mamdani has flipped faster and harder for the Democrats than she did. He didn't even need to. He was set to win. I'm sure she believes what she's saying. It was a very passionate speech. Everything that she said in that part is true. But you're not going to reform the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is not progressive. The Democratic Party is not even left-leaning. I was hopeful that Mamdani would at least, he seemed at least to be consistently principled. He's recently flipped on some very important things that he didn't need to flip on. Like he went on and said that the New York Police Department isn't racist or not as racist. It is. And then he also backtracked on the globalized Intifada, whereas before he would say things like, I wouldn't personally say globalize the intifada. Intifada just means, I forgot what it means in Arabic, rebellion. And now he's just completely flipping to the donor class. So all those people that are worried about all the real estate developers leaving New York City, do not fret. He's placating the Democratic Party. He had some former Hillary and Obama campaign workers join his campaign. He's flipping. And I actually donated to AOC when she ran, when she unseated, what's his name? I think his name was Crowley. I donated to her campaign, even though I don't even live in New York. And that's the thing with the Democratic Party, is that you can't change them from the inside. And sadly, I don't think that, I don't think she's sincere. If not, then she would stand on principle.
Yeah, well, I think he's flipping because there has been, I'm going to just, listen, New York at 9/11. I understand there's hard feelings from 9/11, if you know where I'm going with this. And now people have been saying they don't want a jihadist running New York. This is what they're saying. I'm not saying I agree with this, but this is what they're calling him. So let me play this clip. This is him placating, and I'll play the clip and let's talk about if it's a real story or made up.
I was speaking about my aunt. I was speaking about Zerafui, my father's cousin, who sadly passed away a few years ago. And for the takeaway from my more than 10-minute address about Islamophobia in this race and in this city to be the question of my aunt tells you everything about Andrew Cuomo and his inability to reckon with a crisis of his own making.
What do you think about all that?
So, Enzo, you are our resident New Yorker, New Jerseyan. What do you think about this story that he told? Many people were saying it's a lie, that his aunt doesn't live there. What do you think? What have you been hearing on the streets?
I heard the same thing, that his aunt didn't even live here. There's a lot more things coming out about him too that he's got to worry about him lying on his citizenship to come to the United States, and a bunch more. So I mean, if he wins New York, you're gonna get what you asked for, and you guys are gonna get fucked every which way to Sunday in this situation. Like, I think it's hilarious that he wants to raise the corporate rate, as well as taxing white neighborhoods more than everybody else, and that's on his campaign website. White areas too. I mean, we see it already. You have billionaires and corporations going to leave New York the same way that they left California to go to tax haven states. You see, raising the taxes on the rich is not what to do, because I mean, California is the second highest unemployment rate in the United States. We're going to see that in New York, in the capitalist center of the world, pretty much, to be a ghost town. State-run groceries, state-run this, social workers working instead of police officers. Like, I'm sorry, like, this is just ridiculous that we've come this far, and we're gonna put somebody like this in, who's literally a socialist. Like, I don't know. I got plenty of feelings about this guy.
He must have removed the word
terrible.
white. I'm on his website now, and I don't see nothing about taxing white people.
He's right. He did do that at some point.
Oh, so he removed it?
I don't know if he removed it.
Yeah. It was in the beginning when he first came out. He did that.
That's crazy. I'm like,
Oh.
so basically people pressured him into removing that, which is, I say all that to say, goes to Kim's point. That's all I'm saying. That now he's like backtracking from being on the left, like the far left, to like being like, all right, we're gonna replace white with 1%. But anyways, nevertheless, this clip right here, I'm gonna have Skeptic react to. This is Jewish people supporting him, because he had a lot to say about the conflict in Palestine and Gaza. I mean, Palestine, or Gaza and Israel, and now he backtracked on that. Let's watch.
Hi, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Hi. We're among the thousands of Jewish New Yorkers who've been out door knocking and phone banking to elect Zohran Mamdani. we're also rabbis.
We know Zohran will fight to make our city affordable and safe for our families.
And for our neighbors of all faiths and backgrounds.
As New Yorkers, we're also just people who live here, who don't want to get priced out of this incredible city that we call home.
We know fellow Jews want to be able to afford housing, transportation, and childcare for their families too.
As Jews, as rabbis, as New Yorkers, we believe that all people deserve to thrive. Zohran agrees.
But let's get real. This isn't only about belief, it's about action. So let's build a flourishing city.
Together, let's elect Zohran. Zohran!
Yeah. Oh, skeptic. So what do you think? Is this genuine? Is this an act? What's your thoughts?
So I think multiple things. First, I would say that AOC is a very educated young Latino woman. So I really like AOC. I wanted to say that she has a double major in like foreign relations and I think economics. So she's really smart. And then I think that another thing, when people migrate out, we saw this in California during the COVID whole thing. People left California. They're actually migrating back in. So sometimes you think that the grass is greener on the other side, but you're used to a certain type of environment and it's not that easy to get accustomed to a different environment. Like, I know I'm not a city person. I didn't grow up in the city. I don't do well in the city. I like to visit cities and I could probably live there. If I needed to study in a big city, I could do that. But I'm a country girl at heart. That's how I grew up. And so I tend to like my space and I tend to kind of like smaller towns because you get to know people and it's like, everyone's kind of like a big family. So if people decide to leave New York, I guarantee you that they will leave and then they're going to come right back. Florida and New York are two completely different places. I've been to both. And like New York, the first time I went, I did not like it. I disliked everything about it. I just liked how tight it is. There's no space. Everything is like right there. And I went prior to 2019. So like it was always like open and it was like too much going on, like too overstimulating for me. And then like Florida is kind of like country city, kind of like a suburb. So I don't know. I guess you can't, do what you want to do. But for these people that have lived their whole entire lives and have retired in New York, go to Florida. I want to see how long you're going to like that. I'm sure that some people will adjust well, but for the majority, the same thing with like California, I'm sure that they'll be back, especially when you have businesses and you're used to everything being down like whatever, 2-3 blocks. So like, I think that's a funny thing that everyone's trying to make a big deal about. I don't know about the whole Mamdani and supporting Israel. I didn't know that actually. So I think that's interesting, being that you're so progressive. I feel like everybody kind of agrees. That's almost like a bipartisan thing that we have. Everybody disagrees with what's going on in Gaza. So that's that's a surprise, to be honest with you. I can't believe that he would be supportive of that. It's weird.
Girl, these New Yorkers never go back home. They stay here forever. So when you said that, I said, yes, leave. W, go home. But they don't leave. They stay here. This is their second home. They've been here. But I'm going to play this clip. This is a rumor that they claim is true, that Soros funds Mamdani. Let me play.
I'm Christina Awayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories. Records have revealed that George Soros funneled $37 million to support Democrat socialist Zohran Mamdani's campaign and marginalize Andrew Cuomo. According to those recently released records, Soros, through his Open Society Foundation, funneled the money in recent years to the Working Families Party and at least 9 other left-wing organizations that supported Mamdani's successful campaign in the New York Democrat mayoral primary. The WFP, a far-left socialist-friendly group, received $23.7 million from Soros through its nonprofit fundraising arm, then used that money to help Mamdani. An additional almost $14 million was distributed to 9 other nonprofit organizations and their fundraising entities, all of which endorsed Mamdani's campaign and supported his progressive agenda. Specific groups funded by Soros included Make the Road Action, Community Voices Heard, Move On, Jewish Voice for Peace Action, which is described as an anti-Zionist group. Other unnamed profits also received funds totaling the more than $13.9 million figure. Mamdani, who has been accused of being a Marxist and communist, won the Democrat mayoral primary by a 12-point margin over Cuomo, securing a record 565,000 votes. While Soros and his family did not directly donate to Mamdani's campaign, the Open Society Foundation's grants indirectly supported his candidacy through these organizations' advocacy and ground efforts. That's what you need to know in Dallas.
Kamal, welcome. What do you think about Soros giving all that money to Mamdani, and he's supposed to be a progressive?
Y'all might want to go to somebody else. Shit, I'm still discombobulated from this weak ass internet, and I try to have the sound crystal, y'all, cause I got a mixer and stuff, but that shit was making my computer mess up like a mug. So can you go to somebody else first? Cause I'm still coming.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We'll be wrapping up soon. Enzo, what's your thought?
Right.
I just don't understand how this is, like I said before, this is even going on. George Soros donates a lot of dark money to a lot of people. We've seen it already with the No Kings protest. I mean, it's kind of funny that they call him a Marxist and a communist when you have Communist Party of the United States donating to the No Kings protest on par. And George Soros is just going to funnel money to everybody and anybody. That's what George Soros does, elections. So, out of George Soros's handbook. I don't think, I'm going to sit here and say it. I'll probably be wrong, but listen, Mamdani's not getting elected. And if they do New York, you really have lost the damn way.
You don't think he's going to win?
I'm going to win. I think he's not going to win.
You don't think he's going to win?
No, I don't think he's going to win.
Oh, he's
There's always that 1%.
I don't know. I think the chances are pretty low that he loses. I mean, like, if you've been keeping up with the race, he's been leading.
At
and
70,
I want to say that he's just, he just
No.
now kind of like halved, I guess, right? He just now has like 30-something% and he's still winning by like 40-something. Like,
bro, Cuomo has to be the shittiest freaking governor of life. Because when Slim heard that Cuomo was running, he was like, oh, he's running against that loser? He's like, no wonder why this is coming from, Ray, am I lying? This is coming from Slim. He was like, oh, he sucks.
Who, Cuomo?
Yes.
Cuomo is shit.
He sucks. Yeah.
Hey, Cuomo. I would rather have Cuomo over Mamdani, though. Because at least you know what you're getting with Cuomo.
Enzo,
at least you know it's going to be shit. Huh?
He's polling so bad against this guy.
I know, because everybody in New York hates Cuomo. That's why.
Oh, my God. Well, we got time for like a couple more clips. But this clip right here, this is Rand Paul talking about what's been happening in Venezuela, and we can react to it.
Somewhere where I think the two of you agree, and that's on some of the last bit of what Lucas was reporting on there about those strikes out in the sea. The president says there's going to be more information and briefing coming to Capitol Hill. Here's what he said Thursday.
You know, the land is going to be next, and we may go to the Senate, we may go to the Congress and tell them about it. But I can't imagine they'd have any problem with it. I think they're going to probably like it, except for the radical left lunatics.
All right, so I'll start with you, Senator Paul. What do you need to hear in a briefing? What questions do you have?
You know, it's not so much about a briefing, but we haven't had a briefing. To be clear, we've got no information. I've been invited to no briefing. But a briefing is not enough to overcome the Constitution. The Constitution says that when you go to war, Congress has to vote on it. And during a war, then, there's a lower rules for engagement. People do sometimes get killed without due process. But the drug war or the crime war has typically been something we do through law enforcement. And so far, they have alleged that these people are drug dealers. No one said their name. No one said what evidence. No one said whether they're armed. And we've had no evidence presented. So at this point, I would call them extrajudicial killings. And this is akin to what China does, to Iran does with drug dealers. They summarily execute people without presenting evidence to the public. So it's wrong.
So, Skeptic, I think you're like the left that he's talking about. What do you think about what's been happening in Venezuela? What's your thoughts?
So I've been looking into it. So interestingly, there are actually U.S. government officials that have said that number one, fentanyl is not being produced in Venezuela. So that's a very big thing that has recently come out. And another thing is that some of the government officials that were actually involved in the attack were saying that the way the reason why they were bombing the boats was not a actual like justified reason. Also, we're not at war, right? We're not at war with Venezuela. Why are we bombing the boats? And here's I don't know how true this is because I don't have proof for this, but while I was researching it, they actually said that they had reverse searched the video or the picture that was released, and that video was actually released in 2012. So we actually don't have the real like information from the attacks that they've been doing recently, which is interesting. It's not only Venezuelan citizens, but it's also Colombian citizens. So Colombia is upset about it too. We're up to 30 people that have been killed. So under our guidelines for war, even the reasoning for why they're like just killing these people, they're not even asking questions or anything. I think you should go through Congress. Like, what gives you the power as the executive branch to go out and just start killing people? We're not at war with them. We haven't gotten congressional, like there's not an agreement between Congress and the executive branch for us to go and bomb them. Why are we killing people? Why are we still bombing them? And this is a Republican, right, senator. Rand Paul is not a Democrat. So he doesn't sound like a radical left to me, being that he has been one of the biggest advocates he stood up for MAGA multiple times. Marjorie Taylor Greene has also been saying some stuff that actually makes sense. Like, some Republicans are starting to wake up from the MAGA delusion, and they're starting to actually see facts and say, hold on a second, this doesn't seem like it's making a lot of sense. And I'll also mention this as we're talking about Venezuela. Salvador has released some people that were in CCOT. These people are talking about the experience that they had at CCOT, being that they had not, they didn't have any criminal record with gangs. They were tortured for the whole time that they were there. And I think that those to sue the American government for additional damage that they have gone through, being that we didn't let them go through the court system for it to be proved that they had actually been a part of some kind of gang. And we put them in one of the worst maximum prisons, and they were tortured for the last however months that they were in there.
Kamal, you have anything you want to add to the topic about Venezuela and the boats?
Not really, but they trying to get that oil though. That's all I gotta say. Hey, are y'all shit fucking up on y'all end? Cause y'all kind of keep going in and out. And
no, right. we all. The only time it went in and out was just now with Skeptic, but for the most part, we've all been cleared.
Okay,
just been on your end.
Okay.
Well, all right, then I got one more clip and then we could do our closing thoughts. Because, guys, everyone watching, thank you so much for coming. I think a lot of people in the chat is from Blexit. We will be premiering our interview that me and Gray did today with Pierre Wilson. He is the strategic manager of Blexit. He started the chapters division of Blexit, so it was a big honor to get to meet him and interview him today. And he also was one of the first employee for Blexit. He worked under Candace Owens and Officer Tatum. So very excited that we got to meet him today. We will be playing that in a few minutes. We got one more clip. Guys, just when we thought we got rid of Joe Biden, Joe's not asleep. Listen what he had to say.
We can't kid ourselves. We are in one of those moments right now. In my over 50 years in elected public life, this is the worst I've seen it. If Ted were here today, he'd still be fighting like hell, but his optimism would be surely tested. Because truth be told, our very democracy is at stake in my view. We all agree that our politics is broken, that political violence, never acceptable, is out of hand, that America should be a place not of extremism and fury, but of decency and grace, that our institutions are what makes us the envy of the world, and our democracy is worth fighting like hell for.
Oh, man. Gray, he's your leader. He's your former president, the Democratic Party. What do you think about what Sleepy Joe had to say?
First, I'm going to say that I feel like you put this show together like this on purpose for your people, the Jamaicans and the Arabs. This was a Nora ethnicity show So that I felt like that's what you tried to do. That's the first thing I want to say. But as far as Joe Biden did what he had to do. And then, I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here and defend Joe Biden's age and try to say, oh, he wasn't showing signs of dementia or whatever. But when you go through those types of things, you have good days and you have bad days. So he probably felt like, okay, I'm good. I'm going to come out and I'm going to say this. But, like, Joe Biden did his job. He put us in a bad position, but it is what it is. I don't have any hate towards Joe Biden.
Kim, I saw you squinting, like you really wanted to see what he was saying. You was like, "Is that really him? Is it a robot?" I know you was thinking it, girl. It's okay. What do you think about him saying that things are the worst it's ever been? Do you agree as somebody that is, I would say the most progressive on the panel?
I was trying to read where he was speaking at. It said the Kennedy Center or something, but so Joe Biden is the reason, not the only reason, but people like Joe Biden are the reason why we ended up with a Donald Trump. He co-wrote the crime bill, the bankruptcy bill. There's no disastrous trade agreement that he didn't vote for. There's no disastrous illegal war that he voted for, including for advocating for other illegal wars. Democrats like him are the reason why disenfranchised working class Republicans are pushed more to the right, and we ended up with a Donald Trump. There's no reforming the Democratic Party. We've seen that time and time again. Example A, AOC, Bernie Sanders, I suppose Zohran Mamdani now. We have to start to look at ways to exit, or not just the Democratic Party, the Republican Party too. Vote third party, 5% gets some federal matching funds the following election year. I also really want to briefly say Rand Paul is consistent on principle. I would like to call on all my Republican friends to follow in his footsteps and be consistent on the principle. America first. Going. Also, Ron Paul is one of the reasons why I got into the anti-war movement. Some of my libertarian friends are consistent on that principle. I would have voted for Oliver, but I voted for Jill Stein this last election.
That's good to know. All right, at least I know you voted, because some people, like the other progressive person we have, she didn't vote.
It's completely illogical to vote for the Democratic Party and say you're against war.
Oof. Well, she didn't. Yeah, she didn't vote for Kamala, and she didn't vote for Trump. She just didn't vote. All right, guys. This was a good show. We are going to start our closing thoughts, because at 9:00, I promised Blegs that we would play the interview. Ladies first. Skeptic, what's your closing thoughts?
So, Donald Trump is the same age that Biden was when he was sworn in. So that's interesting. People always like this. It's so funny because I feel like a lot of the time people will have these hypocritical arguments, but they don't realize that, the same applies for them. Anyways, I think that there's so much stuff going on right now. And I want to say to those Americans that are suffering because of these bad policies that were passed, this is why we don't vote inadequate people and underqualified people into office as presidents. This is why we don't vote felons into the highest office of our nation, because now they're cutting disability for Social Security. Social Security offices are closing. They had been closing under the Doge department. Now you see older people that are trying to get information on how they can get their benefits back. Offices are closed. We're seeing that our farmers are not America first. We're going to be importing beef from Argentina. So America first was a lie. You got played. We're seeing our farmers go bankrupt. Where I live at, there is a farm that's going bankrupt. And it saddens me when I drive by there. But they used to have a big old Trump sign. And I was like, well, I guess you voted for your own bankruptcy. So I don't know how bad I can feel for you. Hard times are about to come. I know a lot of people aren't going to have food stamps. I know some people who receive food stamps are going to get a cut down on it. So I say, I'm sorry that America chose incorrectly. I think we need to educate ourselves so we can make better decisions coming in the future. And I do think that there's a blue wave coming. So stay strong, go out and try to find out how you can make food with as few ingredients as you can, and follow us on TikTok.
She said a blue wave. God damn. Uh-oh. All right, Kim, what's your closing thoughts?
There's always a red and blue wave. It's a tug of war. At the end of the day, both parties are completely sold out. We just saw that clip with George Soros. That's how you get those careerist politicians who, once they get in office, well, actually not with Zohran, I guess he hasn't been in office yet, their political ambitions exceed their principles, and then they start flipping on a lot of really important topics. For example, the Affordable Care Act. The real solution to that would have been single payer. But the Obama administration chose to placate their insurance companies' donors and gave us Obamacare, which just made a bunch of insurance companies richer, and on and on and on and on. So the real solution is to break away from duopoly, this corporate, rapacious, murderous duopoly. They all vote for war. They all vote for these disastrous trade agreements. They're completely crippling out the American middle class. And a lot of people are being pushed to extreme left and the extreme right, because they're looking at this country and its politicians, and nobody's really doing anything for them. It just keeps getting worse and worse. And that's why whenever we get a Democrat in office or a Republican in office, it's just back and forth, tug of war. They're two sides of the same coin.
Thank you, Kim. That was great thoughts. Thank you, Skeptic. Enzo, what's your closing thoughts?
So my closing thoughts are: this is a great episode. A little bit different. I'm gonna step away from the politics for a second and talk about the hurricane in Jamaica and all the other islands that are affected. Stay safe to everybody out there, to Jamaica as well as the other affected islands in the Caribbean. My thoughts and my prayers are with you and your families. We wish the best for everybody, and if it does make landfall in the United States, everybody please take the right precautions. Save yourselves as well as your loved ones. If you're in evacuation area, get out of there immediately. Don't try to ride it out. It's not worth it. It's not worth risking your life. With that being said, I hope everybody has a great night and have a great week.
All right. Gray, what's your closing thoughts?
I'll echo what Enzo says about the hurricane. Prayers to Jamaica and anyone else that might get hit, because I heard it's still going. So prayers out to those people, and hopefully people can stay safe. As far as tonight, basically talking about George Soros and him giving money to Zandami. Well, when we saw Trump, I felt like what people said was, well, at least Trump is using his own money to basically pay for his own campaign, his own thing. So it seems to be that money's the issue, that we're using money, and that's how politics is being pushed. Because now we've seen what someone does when they use their own money, and it doesn't seem to be a solution. So I feel like we take money out of politics, we'll have a much better political system. What we always say on a new party, always vote.
I'm going to do my closing thoughts and then I'll let Kamal go. Guys, this was a great show. Thank you to everyone that is sending positivity and love to Jamaica. One love, one country, one Jamaica. And I'm going to be short and sweet. Jamaica has faced the fury of the storm, but not even 185-mile-per-hour winds can break the spirit of a people born from strength, faith, and unity. So, guys, stay strong. Big up to all my Jamaican brethren out there. We got this. All right, Kamal, what's your closing thoughts?
All right, man. Prayers to Jamaica. You feel me? I like Jamaica. I've been out there actually recently. You feel me? Second, I'm sorry today, y'all. The internet was whooping my ass, man. And I tried to give y'all a better audio experience. I got a mixer on here now and stuff. I don't know what the hell was going on. The shit was just acting all types of wonky. I'm blaming you, David. It's your motherfucking fault. Shout out to you for saying what's up, by the way. But I'm blaming your ass for my internet. But anyway, like I said, prayers to Jamaica. You know, I'm gonna watch the replay of this episode. You feel me? Once again, I'm pretty sure y'all had a great conversation, and it was a great panel today. Also, if y'all watching on my end, y'all already know I got the new party pinned to the top. Y'all go subscribe to their channel. You feel me? And then to my channel, Kamal Johnson Network, over there, and check out what I got going on. Please do. And George Soros, I ain't gonna lie, sounds like a villain name, so he must be a villain. Oh yeah, in Venezuela, I think they trying to get some oil. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This seems like an oil war, but hey, what do I know? I'm gonna just ask Chat GPT. And Eric Klein, you hella funny, bro. You keep saying I look like Huey from the goddamn what's that damn cartoon? I can't think of the cartoon right now.
Boondocks.
There you go, Boondocks and Afro Samurai. Eric Klein, you funny as hell. But I hope everybody have a good night. Hopefully I get all the kinks worked out so I could give y'all a better audio experience like I was trying to do for y'all today. And yeah, y'all go follow the new party. Hit that notification bell so you know when they go live.
Oops. Okay, guys. We will be back Thursday night. We will be talking more about the storm. But for right now, everybody waiting, here we go. This is the world premiere of our interview with Pierre Wilson. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and hit the like button if you haven't already. Here we go.
Senior Director of Black